Shad have been important to the people of the Hudson Valley for thousands of years, returning to the Hudson River to spawn in the winter-hungry days of spring. And as the human population swelled, the Shad population went through a series of declines and recoveries. But their story of the last 100 years is a troubling one, and the best we can hope is that the end is still uncertain. By 1920, Shad were in their worst decline ever. And the numbers rebounded to the extent that 1942 saw the biggest haul ever recorded. Of course, we realize now that was part of the problem. But they went through a decline, and people thought, well, the Shad will recover. They always have. They always will. And they did in the 1950s, but the rebound was less than usual. And then real declines started in the 1960s and continued with little bumps up in the 80s, but continued to drop till by the year 2000, the numbers of Shad were barely recordable. And still, it took 10 years for the commercial fishery to be closed in 2010. Will that be enough to save the Shad? We don't know. There are other factors: water quality, water temperature, invasive species impacts, offshore fishing. We could lose the Shad forever. Whatever happens, though, this song will remember them. The year has turned, the sun is higher every day, the ground is soft, the snow has melted all away, a tide of green has come to wash over the land, and our thoughts turn to the river. The sap is rising in the tree, Shad run up from the sea. Once the river ran with silver, we thought it was forever. The buds still swell, and green returns to please the eye. The days still warm, and birds still sing to fill the sky. The rain still falls, and thunder rumbles in our dreams. But there are changes in the river. The sap still rises in the tree, but fewer Shad come from the sea. Once the river ran with silver, we thought it was forever. We turned our backs, we didn't read the river right. We watched the Shad just disappear before our sight. We never dreamed that they might ever fail to run. Our thoughts strayed from the river. The sap still rises in the tree, but fewer Shad run out to sea. Once the river ran with silver, we thought it was forever. What did we do to cause the Shad such harm? What will it take to see their numbers rise again? Is it too late to mend the damage that's been done? We must take care of the river. The sap will rise up in the tree, but the Shad could cease to be. Once the river ran with silver, we thought it was forever. higher every day, but we can choose to change the price we want to pay if we stand guard and let nature find its way. We just might heal the river. The sap will rise up in the tree. May Shad revive and run to sea. Once the river ran with silver, we thought it was forever. Once the river ran with silver, we thought it was forever.